All right, let's get right into it. The ocean has some really iconic shapes, but the ray, that's one we all think we know. But believe me, the real story of the ray family is so much weirder, more diverse, and more amazing than you can probably imagine.
So do me a favor, just for a second. When I say the word ray, what's the very first thing you picture in your mind? Yeah, I'm gonna bet it's something like this, right? That classic diamond shape just gliding along the seafloor. Maybe it's buried in the sand with just its eyes poking out. And look, you're not wrong, but that's just the very beginning of the story.
Because what if I told you that same family tree also includes a living saw? Or a creature that's literally an electric weapon? How about an underwater flying carpet? Or even a freshwater giant? Yeah, it's time to meet the rest of the family.
Okay, so how on earth did we get all these crazy designs? Well, it all goes back to the original blueprint. We're talking about an animal that is the perfect link, the missing piece, really, between sharks and rays. And here it is, the guitarfish. And that name is perfect, isn't it? I mean, just look at it. It's like half shark, half ray. In the back, you've got that powerful, muscular shark tail, but up front, it's all ray. That flattened head and body, perfect for hanging out on the seafloor. This thing is basically a living fossil, showing us exactly where the ray family got its start. All right, so from that blueprint, we get the rays we all know and love, the true kings of the seafloor. These guys are the absolute masters of disguise and ambush. And their whole game plan comes down to this amazing toolkit they have. First up, their camouflage is just insane. They can completely disappear into the sand. Then they have this, well, it's basically a superpower. They have electroreceptors that can pick up the faint electrical field of a clam's heartbeat under the sand. And of course, there's the famous barb. But here's the thing. It's not for hunting. It's strictly for defense, and let me tell you, it works. But what's so cool is how different species take that same basic toolkit and just run with it. Take the southern stingray. In the Caribbean, it's become so used to people, it's literally a tourist hotspot. Then you've got the blue-spotted stingray, which uses those bright colors to scream, "Don't even think about it, I've got 2 spines." And then there's the little round stingray off the coast of California. It's so good at hiding in the shallows that it's the main reason people get stung at the beach. You just never see it. Okay, so not all rays are content to stick to the seafloor. Some of them decided to take to the skies. Well, the open ocean, anyway. They became the pilots of the big blue. And I'm not kidding when I say fly. We're talking about a massive scale. The wingspan of a giant manta ray can be up to 7 meters. 7 meters! To put that in perspective, that is just huge. This is, without a doubt, the biggest ray on the planet and a total gentle giant. And what's really fascinating is how you have these 2 close cousins with totally different lifestyles. You've got the giant manta, which is like this solo world traveler crossing entire oceans. And then there's its smaller cousin, the reef manta. It's more of a local. It sticks to coastal areas and is super social, especially when it gathers at what they call cleaning stations to get parasites picked off by little fish. And then there's this stunner, the spotted eagle ray. People call it the leopard of the sea, and you can totally see why. Every single one has its own unique pattern of spots. And their swimming style is different too. It's not that slow, graceful glide of a manta. These guys flap their fins, more like a bird, just soaring through the water with incredible power. Speaking of social, some of these open ocean rays take it to another level. The cow-nosed rays, they migrate in these massive schools. They actually call them fevers that can have, get this, 10,000 rays in them. 10,000. Can you just imagine seeing that? It must look like a giant golden river flowing through the ocean. Just one of the most incredible sights in nature.
All right, so everything we've talked about so far has been in the ocean. But this is where the story gets a really wild twist. Because some rays just decided, you know what, I'm done with saltwater. And they conquered a whole new world, freshwater. So if I asked you what the world's largest freshwater fish is, you'd probably say, what, a catfish? A sturgeon? Nope, it's a stingray. Deep in the rivers of Southeast Asia lives the giant freshwater stingray. This thing is a monster. It can weigh up to 600 kilograms, and its barb can be over a foot long. A true river giant. And sadly, it's critically endangered. And it's not just a one-off. The Amazon basin in South America has a whole family of river stingrays called the potamotrigoniids. I mean, they've just exploded into this incredible diversity, more than 25 species, each one with these absolutely stunning, vivid patterns. Don't let the looks fool you, though. Some of them have incredibly toxic venom. And unfortunately, that beauty is a double-edged sword. It makes them really popular in the aquarium trade, which is a huge threat to them. Okay, now we get to the really weird stuff. This is where evolution just went wild, pushing that original ray design to its absolute extremes. We're about to meet some of the most bizarre creatures in the entire ocean. But wait, before we dive into the truly strange, let's just clear one thing up really quick. Rays versus skate. You hear the terms thrown around, but they're not the same thing. And there's a super easy way to remember the difference. Rays give birth to live babies. Skates, on the other hand, lay eggs. They lay them in this little leathery pouch that people call a mermaid's purse. You've probably seen them washed up on the beach. So yeah, how they have babies is the #1 difference. But you can also tell by looking at them. A ray usually has that thin, whip-like tail, often with the stinger. A skate's tail is thicker, more muscular, and you'll usually see little fins on it. Simple as that. Okay, now that we've cleared that up, back to the wild designs. So, forget about camouflage. Forget about venom for a second. What if your whole body was the weapon? What if you could shoot electricity? So, how much power are we talking about here? Like a little static shock? Or something a bit more serious? How does 200 volts sound? Yeah. The marbled electric ray has these special muscle cells that can generate a shock so strong it can knock a grown adult right off their feet. And this isn't just for saying, back off. This is a high-voltage weapon they use for hunting. And that brings us to what might just be the most extreme design of them all. The sawfish. I mean, look at it. That incredible saw is called a rostrum, and it is so much more than just a weird-looking snout. It's covered in sharp teeth and packed with those same electroreceptors. They swing it back and forth through schools of fish to stun them. They use it to dig up prey buried in the sand. And yeah, you better believe they use it for defense. It's like the ultimate Swiss Army knife of the sea. So think about the journey we've just been on, from the sandy bottom to the wide open blue. From the ocean to the rivers, from simple gliders to electric weapons and living chainsaws. It really makes you stop and think, right? If one single family of animals can evolve into all of this, what other incredible, unbelievable wonders are still out there, swimming in the parts of our oceans we've never even seen?